Good afternoon. This is Hossain Mahmoud Imam. Welcome to everyone here in Helsinki and around the world. Respected chief guests, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the global diaspora community Bangladesh, it is my honor to speak before you today on the issue that touches every soul of democracy, justice, humanity. The alarming state of mob injustice, repression of minorities, political opponents, gross human rights violation in Bangladesh under the unconstitutional regime led by Mohammad Yunus. Today, we are delighted to have with us Honorable Mr. Atte Kaleba, member of the Finnish Parliament and Chairman of Finland Bangladesh Parliamentary Group. Before I open the floor to our learned panelists, I'm going to give a brief introduction about the current critical juncture of Bangladesh. Since the unconstitutional takeover following the abrupt removal of the elected government on 5th August 2024, Bangladesh has been passing through one of the darkest chapters of its political history. Once a bottomless basket has been lifted from scratch under Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's leadership since 2009. Currently, the rule of law, economy, social bonding, political norms has collapsed. Yunus regime is recognized as an era of kleptocracy and mobocracy. 3,200 police officers have been brutally killed. 500,000 political leaders, activists, minority groups, ordinary citizens, mostly supporters of the Awami League and the secular voices have been detained, disappeared, and brutally attacked. Public lynching and mob violence are being used as a tool of intimidation against political opponents, secular forces, and minority communities, often with the silent consent of the authorities. The constitutional guarantee of freedom of speech, assembly, fair justice have been replaced by a climate of fear and repression. Even journalists, academics who dare to question the legitimacy of the regime face harassment and imprisonment under the draconian laws. Ladies and gentlemen, the most tragic and deeply horrifying for the international community is the rise of extremist, revenge-driven populism, which now targets religious and ethnic minorities in Bangladesh. Temples, churches, and minorities villages have been attacked under the pretext political vengeance. These are not isolated incidents. They are systematic and politically motivated acts of the repression that strikes at the very foundation of our secular and inclusive identity as a nation. The current regime led by Mohammad Yunus did not emerge through a democratic process. It lacks constitutional validity, legitimacy, public mandate, and moral authority. What's happening today is not the pursuit of justice, it's a collective punishment. So what we are witnessing is not a transition, it is dismantling of democracy in the name of reform. As a member of the global democratic community, Finland has long been a symbol of peace, human rights, and global governance. Finland's voice carries moral weight, credibility across the Europe and the world. Today, I humbly appeal to the Finnish Parliament and the government of Finland to raise their voice to concern regarding the ongoing human rights crisis in Bangladesh. We urge Finland condemn all forms of mob violence, persecution against minorities and political opponents, including the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, who is constitutionally legal, call for the restoration of the constitutional order, a return to the democratic governance, encourage EU-level dialogue to ensure that international aid and cooperation with Bangladesh are guided by the respect for human rights and the rule of law. Support of independent investigation into the judicial killing, disappear, and politically motivated arrest. Bangladesh is a wounded democracy and almost a failed state. Its people still believe in justice, equality, progress, values shared by Finland and the European Union. But those values need international solidarity to survive. Let us remember, silence in the face of injustice is itself a form of complicity. Your voice, your action, and your concern make a difference in preventing further bloodshed and restoring a hope of millions of Bangladesh who will still believe in democratic ideals. Thank you very much for your patience.